people carry unfinished emotional and mental weight into the new year, and then they wonder why motivation feels heavy, why excitement feels forced, and why the fresh start doesn't actually feel fresh. I didn't realize how much I was carrying until I slowed down. We're so quick to move forward, to plan, to set goals, to decide what's next, that we rarely stop to ask what we're still holding on to. And for me, the truth is, you don't need more motivation right now. That's what I truly believe. You need completion, you need resolution, because you can't fully step into a new season while you're still dragging pieces of the last one behind you. So, today we're talking about how to close the year the right way, emotionally, mentally, and practically, so you can move forward lighter and clearer. So, I want to start with emotional closure because this is the part most people avoid. Emotional closure is about acknowledging what didn't go the way that you hoped it would go, the expectations that you had, the goals that you didn't hit, the moments that were harder than you thought they'd be. And then what ends up happening is there's a grief here. Even if we don't necessarily label it that way, we feel grief inside of us. Maybe it was a goal you were really excited about that didn't just happen. Or perhaps maybe it was a season that stretched you more than you expected. Or possibly maybe it was a lesson that came with a cost. And instead of slowing down and honoring that, we tell ourselves to just move on, just keep moving forward. But unacknowledged emotions, they don't disappear, they ultimately just get heavier on us. So I want you to take a pause and ask yourself this. What do you need to forgive yourself for? Not to have to explain to someone, not to have to justify, just forgive. Sometimes closure looks like saying, I did the best I possibly could with what I had at the time. And that's enough. Mental closure is a sneaky one. And that's what I want to talk about next. And mental clutter shows up as like lingering should haves, decisions that keep like playing over and over and over again in your head. And like the conversations you keep having in your head to yourself, like telling yourself, I should have done this, I should have done that. I think you probably know what I'm talking about. The decision you question all year long, you keep going back to. And maybe the moment that you wish that you handled a little bit differently. Mental closure isn't about pretending those things didn't happen at all. It's about deciding that you're done reliving them. And at some point, reflection turns into a rumination, and rumination steals energy you need for what's next. So, letting go of self criticism is about building great leadership. And guys, you don't grow by beating yourself up. You grow from learning from your behaviors, from your action steps, from your failures. And then you decide that you are going to move forward. So, as a life coach, I'm always asking myself, what do I want to release so I can make more space for clarity? And that's what I want to encourage you to do today. What do you want to release today so that you can get clear on letting go? So let's talk about logistical closure. And here's where you go into the practical stuff. Because clutter isn't just physical. It's the unfinished projects, like the loose ends, the like administrative tasks, all of those mental to-do lists that never quite go away. And look at what's still open. I love this idea and this concept because you get to really look into these things behind the scenes, these things that are just kind of sitting there in the files that could be emptied, that could be gotten rid of, that could be tossed to the wayside. So last year for me, it was about alignment. And I had to align what were the ideas that no longer fit. And for all of us, we have so many ideas, and especially as entrepreneurs, these ideas can be incredibly draining. Commitments can drain you. And we need to identify what can be let go of so that we can focus on the aligned areas that we're choosing for the big vision in our life. And if we don't do that, then it's going to create more chaos and it's going to create more animosity within yourself because you're never going to feel like you're doing everything to the best of your ability. So the thing is not everything needs to be carried forward. Some things just need to be completed or perhaps delegated, and some things just deleted out of your life, gone forever. They are out. And the way that we look at this is through simplifying. Simplifying is often more powerful than just the overhaul of doing more. Letting something go doesn't mean it was like a bad idea. It just means that we are doing something different for this next season. So I've had a lot of ideas in my lifetime, guys, and I've had partnerships. I've had situations where I wanted it to work out so badly and I was really tied for it, but God just showed me that it wasn't the right timing, or perhaps it wasn't the right people, the right relationships. And these things are revealed to us in so many different ways. And if it doesn't align, it doesn't align. It doesn't mean that you aren't a great business owner. It doesn't mean that you don't have a tremendous amount of value, that you haven't made a lot of good decisions this year. It simply means that it just doesn't go with the big picture. It doesn't go with the vision anymore. And it means that there are shifts that are being created in your life for the good. So you are moving into a new space for a reason. And it's actually a really exciting thing because when you close one thing off, it opens up the door for something else to come in. So we so much of the time feel that we have to finish something in order for it to be okay, in order to have resolution, and that's not true. If you start something and it just absolutely does not feel right anymore, and again, does not align with you, then that is a very good possibility that it's just simply not right. And that's okay. And I just want you to be able to give yourself permission to do that today, just to cut something out. Just cut it out completely and then decide to follow on this new path that you're going down. And again, if you take the time to do this, to really identify this alignment and having opportunity for self-reflection, then you will see that there's so much more clarity that comes to mind when you look at not just the immediate situation at hand, but the big picture and how it coincides with your life and the lifestyle that you want to create. But before you move into creating what's next, I want you to finish this sentence. This year taught me what? What did it teach you? Not from pressure, not from trying to be perfect, from honesty, from really being honest with yourself and speaking the truth. Completion is not quitting. It is a very powerful form of leadership. When you close the year intentionally, emotionally, mentally, and practically, you give yourself permission to step forward lighter and so much clearer and grounded. I'm so grateful to be having this conversation with you today because this is where my heart is at. And I just truly love speaking into people. And when it comes down to giving yourself permission to be free of something that's no longer right, then that is at the forefront of why I do what I do. And it's going to help you change your life when you decide that you don't have to play small. You don't have to do something that doesn't make sense anymore. And you can decide to make changes when you need to make them. When you close the year intentionally, emotionally, mentally, and practically, you give yourself the permission to step forward lighter and have more clarity and just be so much more grounded. This is literally life changing. I encourage you so strongly to give yourself this permission. And I want to open the door for you. I want to encourage you to step in and let all this sit with you and take some notes about today and keep having conversations. When you have conversations, it creates clarity, it builds your capacity, and it helps you to develop a life that you absolutely love, where you are thriving on a daily basis. And that's what we all want to do. We all want to thrive and we want to feel that there is something that we are doing every day that makes impact and truly makes a difference. And if you are of the mindset that you are up and you are doing this daily and you are rising and you bring others up with you, then you are going to be a life changer, not only for yourself, but for everyone else around you. And guys, make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss what's coming next. I'm really glad you're here and I appreciate you so much. And I will talk to you in the next episode.